In a 6-team league, which the Canadian Elite Basketball League is, one team has to have its struggles. That's just the way it goes, and that was the story for the Fraser Valley Bandits, at least to begin the regular season. This is a club that began the year at 0-9, but eventually started to find its footing once they solidified the roster. There are players moving in, players moving out. Merrick Klassen showed up, quickly became the floor general offensively and one of the league leaders in assists this season. He was a big part of this club and a big reason they turned things around. They did string together a 4-game winning streak after a very rough start. Merrick Klassen also a local product, and that is such a big part of the Canadian Elite Basketball League. I also think of Tyrell Tate bringing steady offense, 15 points a game. Jamal Ray gave them a little bit of everything at both ends of the floor. Once this team found its identity, they really started to take off. And in my conversations with the coaching staff, they knew that, hey, if we had just won a few of those first 9 games, we would have been right there in the hunt, the thick of things, to play championship weekend on the prairies in Saskatoon. So for the Bandits this season, it was about finding an identity, figuring out who the guys were, who the roles were going to be. And after that 9-game stretch where they finally solidified their roster a little bit, that's when things started to turn. I mentioned Tyrell Tate, I mentioned Merrick Klassen. They also got solid veteran contributions from Levon Kendall, longtime national team member, played at the University of Pittsburgh, won high school championships here in BC with the Kitsilano Blue Demons. Also Jelon Kendrick, formerly of UNLV, a McDonald's All-American. He brought a little bit of everything to the table, and that's what kind of solidified and personified this Bandits team. They didn't necessarily have stars, but they had guys who could do a little bit of everything at both ends of the floor. In the midst of a 4-game winning streak in the middle of the season, the Bandits only gave up 81 points a game defensively. Once they figured out what they had on the defensive end, they were able to carry that out to the offensive end of the floor. That's what led to their success, and hopefully that's what can lead to their success going forward as the CEBL moves into its 2nd season.